Alrighty, welcome to part 5, the 100% beginners tutorial. Uh, in this video, we're going to be covering the entirety of World 4. And World 4 is really interesting. There's a lot of cool route decisions. And difficulty is nice. You know, it's nice and difficult, but it's also not too hard. So make sure you have fast equipped. If you end on the boss fight, in Ms. Ruby's boss fight, it dequips fast, because you can't use fast during her boss fight, and you should be on dive. That's the next default. Just go 2 left, over to fast. Or actually, I think you'll be on decoy. One of those two. So go over with L2, make sure you get on to fast. You're gonna kill that guy, and you're gonna come over here and get these bottles. And then there's 2 up here in this corner. There's 1 right here, and then 2 over here, and that should make 7. From here, we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna whack this guy. And there's a bottle right here. There's also a cutscene really close here, so if you would like, you can kind of edge closer and closer. If you don't trust yourself, you can switch over to dive, and use dive to break it. Either way is fine, and then we're gonna jump up on this. And since the camera's changed here, this trick is a lot easier to do when you have the camera faced. We're just gonna jump out of bounds like this. Really easy. We're gonna stay up and out of bounds all the way up to here. Oh, I didn't mean to fall down right there. I was gonna fall down closer to this guy, but same thing. There's 3 bottles on this bridge, and then I'm gonna jump on top of this, double jump up. Oh, well. I'm gonna land on this, double jump up here, and then we're gonna land down here. And we're just gonna make sure that we're not gonna get hit by no icicles. Getting hit by these is bad. They hurt. Wow, there was a lot that was spawning there. A lot more than usual. That's what I mean, these icicles will get you. There we go. From here, there are no more bottles until we get past this little building up here. So, this is kind of like what started where I'm going to explain this. You're going to jump up, slip jump up, and hit these fireworks. And right now, you can. There are 3 bottles up here. You can either get these now, which is what I recommend, so you don't forget them. Or you can get them later, because we'll be coming back later, because as you see, the vault is here, but we're going to skip the vault. This is going to be the first time that we're going to skip the vault entirely, and I'll explain why when it matters. But for right now, we're just going to get these bottles, and then you can either come out here hitting the fireworks, or you can drop down and come out the exit like normal. Either way is fine. Now here, there's a safe over here. Again, you can grab this if you would like, or you can wait. I generally wait and grab that later, but it doesn't matter. Then we're going to start scaling this wall. Now, it's important to note that while you are on this wall, these guards can still spot you, even if their light does not shine directly on you. So it's really important to make sure that, especially when you're doing this fast, and I don't mean with fast, I recommend not doing this with fast when you're just starting out. But when you're just trying to burn through this area pretty quickly, you make sure you don't fall down at all, because then they'll kill you, and then paying attention to the light, because they can still spot you. And then we'll just grab the key. Now from here, depending on how fast or slow you were, it's gonna vary how these guards' cycles are. So I'm not even going to try to explain any like guard cycle pathing or anything like that. Just note that there isn't a bottle until right here, where there are 2. And then there's a bottle up here. You're going to want to grab it. There's another one right here. And then there is one more right here. Now if you skipped those 2 bottles, or the 2 bottles over there in the safe, and then you skipped the 3 up by the vault, should be at 22, and then these should be 23 and 24. If you grabbed the 3 up top but skipped the vault, this should be 27. And then this one over here will be 28. Otherwise, you know, it should be 30. But, you know, if you don't want to skip them, you don't have to. Like I said, I always recommend grabbing the 3 up top. Actually, move the camera here. I recommend grabbing the 3 up there and then saving these 2 for later. But it doesn't really matter. Whatever you prefer to do. And then we're just going to leave. We're going to come back to that vault later. And like I said, I'll explain why when it becomes relevant. So here, it's important to point this out. We're going to be doing Flaming Temple of Flame 100%, and we're going to skip the Master Thief sprint. And the reason why is we're going to finally be getting, in this hub, the fall damage page, where you can die to gravity, or when you would normally die to gravity, you won't burn a charm or die anymore. And the strat to complete this Thief sprint faster requires a charm. Both strats for Unseen Foe and Flaming Temple of Flame both require a charm. So it's important to note that that's why we're skipping this Thief sprint back here. If you kill this guard, cutscene's gonna spawn here with Bentley talks. You can avoid the guard, but the cutscene's really not that long. You do lose a little bit of time not being able to have fast active, but it's not that big of a deal. Then make sure you grab those bottles, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of run to the left here, and we're gonna do kind of a double jump and then delayed circle input. And then when we start to latch onto the hook, we're gonna hold directly up. That way we get enough momentum to get up here, and then we're gonna hold down right and double jump up here, and we should ledge grab up to here. And then we're just gonna use that to grab these 2 bottles. If you can't do that strat, don't worry, we can come back and get these bottles later. And I'll show you when we do that. If you don't want to do that strat, you're just gonna come up here and move along. You can do that real fast if you would like. I recommend taking off fast when you go to do this, otherwise slide won't latch onto this little edge thing here beforehand, and you'll slide off. It's really weird. I don't know why it happens, but it just does. You only need to go to the halfway point here, and you can jump up and latch onto this. Kill this guard because he's a big dumb idiot. And then you can double jump over this if you'd like. Take a little bit of a more direct route. And do this. I kill this lady and then double jump back here. Get up here. If you don't want to do that, you can just double jump and come around to the corner. Break this safe now. And you should be at 11 bottles. If you skip the other 2, you will be at 9. Here we're just going to climb this little statue thing here. Gonna jump up here. Carry on with our business. There are 3 bottles out here on this little balcony thing. Grab those. And then we're going to come back up here. And we're going to go to the right side first. And there's 1 bottle here, the 2 here. And this one's a little tricky. You can actually stand on that without falling down to the ground. So just mess with this. You know, do this a couple times back and forth. Make sure you know what you're doing here. Because falling down here actually loses a lot of time. Because you have to go back to the statue, climb it again, and then go all the way up there. Whereas if you don't fall, you can just jump right back down. And now we're right here, and we should be at 18 bottles. Now, this is where if you didn't want to do that strat, you would just jump down right now and grab these last 2 bottles, and you'd be good to go. You just hit the fireworks and ride the fireworks back up. And you're golden. Here we're gonna drop down and whack this guy. I'm gonna hit this lady. And then we're gonna hit these 2, hit these bottles. And then there's 2 different ways to do this. I'm not sure which is faster of the 2. You can jump out here and go around this guy and get these bottles now, and then kill him. Climb up here and then go this way. and get these bottles now. And then here, you can jump up to here, kind of get out of bounds on top of the level. And make sure you don't do that. Get to right about here. And then just like jump back over and latch onto the pipe if you want. Otherwise, when you would grab those bottles, you would just jump down here and get back on this. And then drop down and grab these bottles. Either way is fine. Like I said, I don't know which one's actually faster. But yeah, whichever one you prefer, just do that. They're both pretty easy. Here we're just gonna complete the level. Because we have all of the bottles. Now for your sanity's sake, don't trip this alarm. If you do trip it, like I just did on purpose, come over here and break this. Just for sanity's sake. You don't want to be listening to that the entire time that Bentley's talking. That's just a bad time. Nobody wants to listen to an alarm blaring in their ears. Especially when you have the headset on while Bentley's talking. And you have the battle theme playing. Because you didn't kill the other guard. So she's close enough to spawn. Ugh. It's horrible. From here, like I said, we're going to come back and do the Thief Sprint later. So we're just going to break the key, pause, and we're going to go to View Map. I'm going to View Map back to inside the Stronghold. And this is just going to get us closer to King of the Hill faster. The only reason why we do this. And the roof of my mouth kind of hurting. So I'm going to grab a little bit of water here. Alright. Water acquired. So right away, you're going to load the game, skip the cutscene. And then you're going to aim over here to the left, right away at the start, shoot this firework. And I'll drop a bridge later. And just like with Murray's Big Gamble in the second hub world, all of these guard spawns are the exact same every time. There'll always be a guard there, there's always going to be a guard spawns right here. So you can just sit here, and you can pre-fire where the guards are going to spawn at, and kill them before they get to Murray and scare them. It's important to note that with this guard right here, you can shoot this guard before Murray gets scared, and if you're mashing, he will run into your fireworks and die. And even if you have a charm, Murray dies in one shot to your bullets. So I'm gonna make sure that does not happen. That guy's a little finicky. I'm gonna make sure you hear the sound before you move on. Sometimes he just will not die. And for whatever reason, that snowball doesn't have a hitbox to like actually kill Murray, because he's supposed to be hiding. So you can just kill, you can just kill the guy instantly and have Murray get hit by the snowball, and it doesn't matter. Really weird. That can be a little tricky, doing that the way I did it, where you shoot and then go over and immediately tap again. You don't need to shoot, you don't need to kill them as quickly as possible, but you do want to kill them somewhat fast, because if Murray runs all the way back, there's a slight chance that he'll fall off and die. Well, he doesn't die, he just uses soft lock, so he'll load the game and restart from the very beginning again, which is not good. This ends phase here. There's 6 spawn points, the 4 little gates, and then either rooftop. And 10 guards spawn, and it's just random. It picks one of the 6 rather entrances. Spawn the guard at, and you just move on to the next one. Do that to kill 10 of them. And from here, we're gonna be doing Unseen Foe. Now, since we've been unlocking all the power-ups, we actually have the move with invincibility. Normally you wouldn't have this in the other categories. But you do move really slow still. But, you know, it's something to note, you do have it, so. I'm gonna come over here to the left and grab these 2 bottles here at the start. And then, you can do this 2 different ways. I recommend you come over here and jump before the laser. And then when you land... Hold on, we'll let Bentley stop talking here. Bentley's really obnoxious, and I can't turn off the dialogue. And like I said, I hate talking over anything. I hate you, Bentley. Anyway, so you want to jump right as right before you touch the guard's light. Double jump around, and then as soon as you land here, press circle, and you'll hide underneath this, and the guard's attack will hit this, and you kill him that way. And there's also a safe over here. Make sure you grab that. And don't be an idiot like me and jump into the spotlight. That's not what you want to be doing. Already grabbed that bottle, so I'm just gonna go this way. Grab these and come back out here. Be patient. Go around and come back and get these bottles. Now here, there are two different ways you can do this. You can either do this strat, or you cannot do the strat. The strat is really easy. You just get lined up with this little like notch in the guardrail. Not the notch, but I think it's like sticking up out of the ground. I don't know what to call it, like the support beam, I guess, for it. And then you're just gonna either single jump or double jump to land on the guardrail when the guard is not looking at you. And then when you land on it, you're gonna double jump, hold directly towards this, or you're gonna hold directly towards this and double jump, and you should latch onto this, and as soon as you latch onto it, you want to jump and immediately kill the guard. From here, you're gonna grab the bottles, climb onto this, and then we're gonna go back around this way, and we're gonna come up here, and we're gonna grab this bottle. Now, if you don't want to do that, you know, you're thinking you don't want to mess with this strat and 100%. There's no reason to mess with that. Blah blah. Whatever your reasoning is, you don't have to do that. It's not that much faster. You're just gonna go through like normal. You're gonna invisible stealth through his laser beam, and then you're just gonna run through this area. And it's important to note that, like I said, you can just walk through this with the laser and then break this, and then here's your bottle. I would recommend not actually breaking the beam until you get right about here, because then there's that little bit of cooldown time. You should be able to get up here and break this beforehand, before you have to worry about trying to stealth through it. But you can just stealth through it like normal. You can do this the casual way. There's nothing wrong with doing it the casual way. And then from there we'll jump out. Keep in mind that all these cycles are sped up with you, so you'll need to relearn timings for cycles. I can't believe I didn't make that jump. Wow, I'm really baffled that I didn't make that jump. I mean, all sorts of mistakes in this level. I'm gonna do this jump again. Really simple. If you do decide to do that the casual way, and you're coming from this side, you need to make sure that you jump around here, and you drop down, kill the guard, and grab the bottles. Because you won't have them. And you should be at 9. Now, this is a little tricksy, a little obnoxious that they do this to you. Your first inclination is to just jump right out and leave. But there's actually 2 bottles over here on this right side. Right if you're going this way. And then there's 3 bottles over here on the left side. And that should be 14. Odds are if you missed bottles, that's where you missed them at. Couple bottles here, couple bottles here. There's 2 bottles up here. And then if you would like, you can get up here and double jump to this tree, and let's grab this part. And jump over here, kill this guy, and grab the bottles. You can also do this from this tree, but it's a little bit harder because you're further away. But you can do that too. And do this if you would like. If you don't want to do that strat, you don't have to. You can just come around here to the side. There'll be a guard. You have to kill her. And then you will have to jump up and climb this rail. And then double jump down and kill him from the side, because he has a flashlight guard. He'll immediately spot you and attack you. But otherwise, you can just do that, whichever way you feel more comfortable with doing. Obviously, jumping onto the tree is a little bit faster, but again, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. Moving on, this room is a little weird. There are 4 bottles hanging from the ceiling, and there's this laser wall all the way down here. You can just do all this in one little go, but if you accidentally trip the alarm and you don't feel comfortable trying to, you know, like, oh no, I tripped the alarm. Oh boy. Now I have to worry about the red lasers while I'm doing this and all this. If you don't want to have to worry about that and have that extra stress, you can just come over, break this, and then just jump over and get all the bottles really quickly and easily. You're good to go. If you do die, don't get too upset. Don't get too discouraged. There's a checkpoint right out here. So as soon as you land on this building, it checkpoints your progress. So if you die in this room, you're right back here. There are 3 more bottles here, and then wait until this hook is right here. Don't try to jump out and grab this, or you're gonna land down there on the clothesline wire. You're gonna land all the way back down here on this wire. You're gonna have to climb all the way back up again. So just be patient. Make sure you're waiting until the hook is right in front of you, and then jump on down to get it. Now there are 2 bottles over here behind this guard, and we're at 29. And if you're at 29, that's exactly where you want to be at. You haven't missed any bottles. Again, we're gonna jump over here. Wait until you land on this to jump and latch onto this. If you try to do that in one fell swoop, sometimes you won't actually latch onto this, and again, you will latch on to that wire all the way down there and have to climb all the way back up again, and it's really dumb and stupid, and I hate that it happens, but it does. Your last bottle is right up here, top of this. And break that, and input your last code. Code is really silly. I don't know why they chose the code that they did for this level, but they did. And this is our fall invincibility. Alright. Now we're just gonna jump right back down, and we're right here at the end of the level. Just gonna jump down through the lasers, and we're gonna load the game. You can either, you can try to time it to where you hit the thing, but it's really difficult. So I just swing and then immediately pause and load the game beforehand. Unlike the other levels where we haven't saved yet before we collected the key, so you need the autosave from collecting the key to keep your bottle progress. We already unlocked the safe. We already unlocked the vault and got our power up, so that counted as an autosave. As you see here, even though I did load the game before I collected the key, I already have all the bottles and stuff like that. Now we're just gonna go and grab this, and this is another level where dying is really bad. You want to make sure that you're being absolutely safe. Now you don't need to do this bridge jump here. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, you feel like you're gonna get hit by the guard, don't worry, just run through there like normal, and you're good to go. We're gonna be skipping basically the entire level, so spending an extra 30 or 40 seconds to go through that isn't gonna kill you. Like 30-40 seconds of in-game time, rather. It's only like 10-15 seconds in the real world or RTA, so you're fine. What we're gonna do though is we're gonna get in this corner, and since we have the fall damage page, we're just gonna double jump, do a super jump right here, so just one, and then we're gonna jump about right here, and that's gonna clip us through the wall and do skip the strat, or skip the entire rest of the level. Get a whole bunch of things. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up my map here. I'm gonna show you. We had 1 minute and 26 seconds left, and I sat there for like 30 seconds and explained things of the sprint timer. So you have plenty of time to do that sprint with the strat. So if you wanted to go up and do the thing and you didn't want to risk the bridge, you're more than fine to do that. From here, since we've already been to Flaming Temple of Flame, we can just view map right over here instead of walking back over. Excuse me. And then we're gonna just grab this and get to the end of the level. Now again, you don't have to do this strat. We're gonna be skipping a decent portion of the end of the level, so if you don't feel comfortable doing that strat, you don't have to do it. I would recommend you learn how to do it, because it's gonna give you a lot of time. But what you're gonna do is gonna climb this all the way to the top, and then we're gonna get some super jumps, and then get to right about here. I like to line up to the left of this little diagonal next to the dragon statue, and then you're just gonna fall, and it should jump you up and will allow you to hit the exit level here and skip doing the last little bit. And you know, really quick, super duper simple, and easy time trial challenge. Just bam, boom, minute 26, good to go. So now we're gonna make it over to spinning, or rapid fire assault. And I recommend you not do this first part of the setup with fast or without fast. I would recommend you do it without fast, and then from here you can use fast while you're running out of bounds. You're good to go. Make sure you double jump here to get out of bounds instead of landing on the vehicle. It's a little bit faster. And there's really nothing else to this. I shoot the door twice. You don't have to. I don't think it actually helps. But sometimes it really feels like it helps. So, you know, take that how you will. Oh my god, Bentley, shut up. For this, you want to kind of position yourself where you can shoot multiple bits of this at the same time to make destroying this pillar go by a little bit faster. And you're good to go. I don't know why Bentley talks so much, so often. Quite obnoxious. But it is what it is. Here, if you would like, you can jump on this and jump over. Looks cool. There's not much else I could say about that. It just looks cool. You know, it's not difficult. You use like a second to failing it, I guess. Grab those bottles, make sure you don't forget them. Kill this guy if you would like. I'm gonna climb up here, and we're gonna double jump up to this corner, and then we're just gonna jump out and over out of bounds here to skip a cutscene on the ceiling. And we got 3 bottles here. We're gonna grab, and then we're gonna grab 3 more bottles down here. Do not grab this charm. You don't need it. Wait here. I'm gonna grab these 3 bottles, and we're gonna grab these 2 bottles here, and you don't need that charm, he says as he dies. I guess he didn't grab the charm. Ah, man. If you're good at the video game, you don't need that charm, I promise. But I'm bad at the video game, so. Anyway, now that the game has proven me wrong again, you want to grab those bottles, grab that safe, and then we're going to jump up here, and we're going to grab these 3 bottles, and then we're going to try to super jump down here and collect these 2, and then just jump out of bounds here and get hopped right back up here. If you can't do that, or you know you failed doing that, just drop down, grab the bottles, and then come back up here and do the casual way to get back up, and you're good to go. There are 3 more over here in this corner. Make sure you don't forget those. Fireworks. And there are 3 more bottles down here. Now, if you have an extra life to spare, and you would like to do a death abuse to save a little bit of time, attack this while you jump up on it, double jump up, and hit that. You don't need to fall in the water, you can just jump up and hit it, and then come down and break these. Alternatively, if you broke that beforehand on accident, you can also double jump around this. And if you get in just the right spot, on the complete opposite side of it. You'll get sent up really high and you'll trigger it that way. Don't forget this bottle. I have forgotten this bottle far too many times. Don't forget this bottle. You grab these two, and then we're just gonna keep going. Grab all these, and we should be at 38 when we're done with this. If you are at 38 when we're done with this, and you're doing the death abuse, you're gonna come back here, and you're gonna get shot by Carmelita. You're gonna stand right here, so her shot hits you. If we're not gonna do the death abuse, you just don't want to do it, you don't have the life to do it, just gonna come back here and run across this. Much slower. And then we're gonna jump across here, and we're right back to where we would die. I would respawn right after we died. The last two bottles are right here, and you're good to go from here. And remember, we have the fall page now, but the only way that Carmelita can kill us here is if she shoots us directly, so he's literally just a nuisance at this point. I like to break these and then hit this. That way it breaks the rocks for me during, like, while I have to sit here and unlock the vault. Nice little time save, but this is our second to last page, the blueprints for Hub 4, rather. Thanks, Bentley. Appreciate that, man. And then now we're just gonna jump up, and we're gonna go collect our key.
Watch your back, Cooper. When you least expect it, I'll be there.
So again, since we have already saved from the vault, you can pause the game and then load before you collect the key, and it'll do the same thing if you feel more comfortable doing that. Now we're going to do the sprint. And this is a very, very, very long sprint. And there's a lot of parts where you can die to guards. You want to be really careful with how you do this. If you want to take a little extra time to be careful, that's fine. They give you plenty of time to do this. Even without doing any fancy shortcuts or anything like that, because there really aren't any fancy shortcuts that you can do. They give you plenty of time. Don't worry, you can run through this. One thing to note, you can't do the death abuse, obviously, because the platform's not there, or the checkpoint's not there, and, you know, dying resets you back to the start. And you saw there, you know, you have the water page and the fall page now, with like water and fall immunity. You don't have to worry about dying to anything other than actual like guard damage. So make sure that you don't go too far to that guy and get him killed. It's bad. And this time you can just attack with your cane to break these manually. And the timer does stop ticking while this cutscene is playing, so you don't have to worry about that. And you run and jump into the load zone, and you're good to go. From here, we're gonna just run and jump down into Desperate Race. Now, in Desperate Race, we're gonna be doing a trick called Race Skip, and Race Skip is really cool. Really, really cool. I'm not gonna explain it too in depth. Basically, we're gonna get the first boost. We're gonna turn around and we're gonna ramp up the wall, and in between two invisible walls that block the key. There's one really up high and there's one really low, and then you have a little spot in between where you can kind of just go directly through. Like the analogy I used in my 80% tutorial was that it's like two volleyball nets, one at the bottom, one at the top, and you're going in between.
Thanks for the advice, Sly, but trust me, I got this under control.
But if you'd like a more in-depth explanation for how to do this trick, like I said, it is there in the 80% tutorial. But otherwise, here you go. I will preface this again. I said this a lot in my 80% tutorial, I'm going to say it a lot here. When Murray gets out of the van, restart the race. For Pete's sake, restart the race. It aggravates me so much when people don't restart the race when Murray gets out of the van. You don't lose any time. Nothing bad can happen. You know, you don't lose time for, you know, loading the level again, blah, blah, blah. The only thing that happens when you restart the race is you get rid of the chance of the game soft locking. There's no downside, there is only upside. So please, just restart the race. Make sure Murray gets out of the van, obviously, but as soon as you see him get out of the van, pause and just restart the race. And then he'll collect the key. He's still over there. He'll collect the key. That's why the camera's all wonky. And then just exit the level. You're good to go. If you don't do that, the van can sometimes rest directly on top of the key, and Murray will just get stuck in an infinite run cycle, and there's just nothing you can do. So that's why I hammer the point home. Restart the race when Murray gets out of the van. Nobody wants to do a really difficult trick like race skip, complete it, and then get soft locked with a completely preventable soft lock. Nobody wants to have that happen. We want to have fun. We want to do our cool tricks and then not have a silly mistake happen afterwards. So here, this is pretty much the only boss that I would say, even as a beginner, if you want to use fast on, you can. Because this boss is really easy. You just hug the left side, get up here, and then you just mash the attack button. And you can hear what attack he's gonna do. So if you want to use fast this boss fight, you can. Really, really easy. Make sure you don't get hit. If you have a charm, if you have a charm when you come into this boss fight, which is not really likely that you will unless you collected one during the Duel by the Dragon Thief Sprint, so you're good to go. You know, when his health bar is getting real low like this, you know, it's almost to the bottom, probably like 2 or 3 hits left. Right here I only have 2 hits left. I have to hit him once to deplete his health bar, and then 1 more to kill him. You're gonna load the game and just get the last couple of hits on him during the fade out. And you should be good to go. From here, we're gonna view map out of the boss fight, back to inside the stronghold. And here's where I'm gonna explain why we skipped the vault in Perilous Ascent. So the last vault in the game requires you to have completed Clockwork's hub world to be able to, like, you know the code for it. You can press circle on it regardless. I think it's weird. I don't know. It's really, really weird and glitchy and finicky. Sometimes, you know, on casual playthroughs I've been hecked, but when I speedrun it's fine. I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, it requires you to beat Clockwork's hub world to know the code to unlock it. Since we know what the code is, I believe it's 5, 7, 8. I'm gonna pull up my splits here just to be absolutely certain. But I believe Perilous Ascent is 5, 7, 8. Yeah, 5, 7, 8. So since we know what it is, we're just gonna go into the level and unlock it early. And this last ability, when you collect it, it starts a cutscene, and the cutscene is very long and puts you, after you finish it, at the start of the level again. but you can just restart the game to skip that. And it'll still put you at the beginning of the level, though. So if you try to do this in a level like, say, Duel by the Dragon, which is where you normally are going to get your last vault from, you get all the way to the end of the level, and you unlock that vault, and you have to go all the way through the level again, collect the key, and then all the way through the level again to complete the MTS. And that is really, really slow, and you don't want to do that. That's why we put this vault off until right now. So if you haven't already, collect your vault here, or your safe there for the bottles. And you're gonna line up where Sly's left, Sly's right foot, or his, the side that his cane's on, but are facing the screen, his left foot. You're gonna line it up just like this, and kind of point it to where you're gonna be running towards the camera. And then once you get to the edge of the little golden bar thing, like the golden bronze bar thing we're running on, we're gonna jump out towards the camera for a little bit, and then we're gonna curl our jump from the down angle that we're holding to up left right away, and do a double jump. And what we're trying to achieve with this is skipping, going back to the start of the level. And the reason why is you can't just jump up and over this. You can't do this way. It's really weird. Alright. Get myself lined up here. Keep jumping too early. This trick is very difficult. Probably one of the hardest things to master, but once you've got it down, it's a really nice thing to know. And sitting here and messing with this and doing this a couple of times is going to be faster than running from the start of the level. Yeah, it's really obnoxious that they put this here. You can't even jump up to this anyway, even if the invisible wall wasn't here. You can't really jump up to this spot anyway. It's too high for you to ledge grab the bridge. I don't really understand why they did that. There we go. So that's how you do that jump. And then from here, you'll just hit the fireworks, drop down, and do that. Now, I'm going to try to show off another way to do this, because there's actually two different ways you can do this bridge skip. That's the way that I recommend you do it, just because to me that's always been the easiest way. That's how I've always known how to do it, is that way. But there is another way you can do this, should you so desire to try it. You can actually do this from the right side as well. You have a similar kind of lineup as last time. The only difference is you're gonna hold... I hit the R1 button on accident. You're gonna hold up right and then do your jump like that. And you'll ledge grab the gate that way. But it's really weird. I don't like this right side. I personally think it's harder. But I've been told by the 100% runners before me, the ones that kind of taught me everything that I know, that it's the exact same trick. So I don't know. Whichever one you prefer to do, do whichever side you want to do, but don't practice both. That's the biggest trap that you can fall into. Not just with this, but with anything, is make sure you're doing one thing. Don't try to practice both. Like, mess around with both, see which one you think is going to be better for you, but don't sit here and practice this one a bunch and then sit here and practice this one a bunch, because then you're wasting time. You're getting, if you spend 10 minutes practicing this and 10 minutes practicing this one, you could have spent 20 minutes practicing either or, and that would be more beneficial for you. Spend more time practicing one way. It'll get you better at that way faster. But that's just me, my weird opinion. From here, if you didn't do it earlier, gotta get back up here. I think you can do this. Gotta be able to have to jump on the guard. If you jump on the guard, you can get back up here. These guards, they can spot you if you run directly in front of them, but you know, be careful. But if you haven't got these bottles, come here and get them. Something to note, if you hit this fireworks and you run over here, the firework explosion will kill you and you'll have to do the jump again. So be very careful. That's why I recommend getting these the first time through. Because then if you die that time, you just respawn right back down there, or right up there at, at that checkpoint, and you don't have to do anything again. So anyway, we're going to drop down here. And we're going to enter in our code. This is so weird. I feel like the only one you can't actually like input on, like, I feel like they always expect you to get this one, so the code just isn't here, like the lock just isn't here. But anyway, we're gonna put in 578, and then as soon as the autosave pops up, wait like a second or two, and reset the game to skip both unlocking the vault, Bentley explaining the page, and the cutscene that plays directly after it. Otherwise, that's that portion. I personally feel like that's one of the hardest things you're gonna be forced to do that is exclusive to 100%. So definitely practice that one a lot. But now, like I said, we're gonna be right here at the start of the level, and because we've gotten the key and we just got the vault, this is really convenient because then we can just start the thief sprint right away. Nice smooth transition. Now I recommend you... Okay, that's fine. That was my OBS disconnecting. I'm live streaming this too, but I have a local recording. So I recommend you come up here and do this. It is slower, taking the time to do that. However, is a lot safer. Now I fell down here on accident, and this is why I recommend you go up top, because this guy is really obnoxious. So I recommend you go up and out of bounds, just skip that guy and you're good to go. Be careful, make sure you don't die. They give you a lot more time than you realistically need to do this thief sprint, just like Duel by the Dragon. Even if you're just doing the casual stuff, you're good to go. I don't know what happened, but fine. We'll finish this part of the tutorial and then we will, I'll worry about that later. Drop down here, and if you want, if your coin count is like 80 or so, you can break these things and try to get some coins and unlock a coin charm. And again, that was just OBS reconnecting. You can get a coin charm here if you would like an additional safety charm for a hub 5. That is perfectly acceptable. Break these things, get some coins if you would like. I only recommend you do that if you're really close to the coin charm though. But there you have it. We have now completed all of World 4. And that's all there is. So you'll come back here, and Bentley will not shut up again, because Bentley is really obnoxious and annoying, and he never shuts up. But there you go. We have all 7 keys, all 4 vaults, and all 4 Master Thief Sprints for Hub 4. And all we have to do now is complete the game. So, this last little portion, there is a little bit of explaining to do. So I don't want to just tack it on to this video. I will make it its own separate video. Explaining that, because there's some weird routing that you can do if you want to make this hub a little bit safer. And then there's something else that I want to point out right away here in this portion of the hideout. So I'll be explaining that at the start of the next part, and then explaining the route portion when we get there. So that'll be it for part 5, and next time we will start part 6, the final portion of this 100% tutorial. So we'll see you again. Peace.